I often hear from people on their path that they feel that they're being limited by other people in their life. They feel like they cannot be who they fully are because other people expect them to be something else. There can also be times where they are feeling that they are in conflict with other people's interests, like what they want is not what other people want. And hello dear soul, welcome to this weekly wisdom transmission. So the title I've been given for today is My Will, Thy Will, or Divine Will. So this is an exciting topic to dive into. I often hear from people on their path that they feel that they're being limited by other people in their life. They feel like they cannot be who they fully are because other people expect them to be something else. There can also be times where they are feeling that they are in conflict with other people's interests, like what they want is not what other people want. And there is something really interesting here, because when we are experiencing this, we are really meeting the limiting beliefs within ourselves. We're really meeting that resistance within ourselves. And also, we might not be allowing the highest path for us. We might not be allowing divine will to move through us. So what I felt at a point of my journey was that if I aligned with God's will, then that everything would just happen, because God's will, nothing can really overrule God's will. And when I talk about God, I mean the divine source. I'm not attached to a religious idea that God is someone outside of us. What I see is God is within each and every one of us, and it's a potential we can open to. God will always be everything that everything is made up of. It's everything that exists, but you can be detached from the knowing of it. But if you allow yourself to move with that energy of God or divinity, you are aligning yourself to your highest path, your most expansive path, where you are being who you truly are from the divine perspective. So that being said, I see it really requires mastery, and I will go into some tangible examples from my own life in a moment. But I see how we are, at first I will talk about it more general. So what I see is that we are often taught that certain things are right, certain things are wrong, and my will is my will, and thy will is thy will, and we can like argue and battle, and if I go this way, this might be not beneficial to you. And we can also find ourselves having opinions about this is the right thing for everyone to do, this is the right thing, while someone else have learned that this is the right thing over here, that you have to do it this way. And in that way, we can really experience the friction within ourselves. When we begin to understand that aligning with divine will instead, we will have all our needs met. It is really our truly most desired path. But also it's free from opinions. It's free from right and wrong, and you might find yourself surprised that things does not matter to you anymore, that you learn what's right at home. And it's like when you're on this path, you know there's one common path that will not be conflicting with each other. And that's really a breakthrough for me to understand that. When I did realize that earlier on my path, I was single, so I was experiences in my relationship with friends and family that our highest will did always align, but there can be conflicts and the other part might not know. And I also had to be aware of what was driving me on my path, what was guiding and leading me on my path. So it was really training that feeling into when am I aligned with divine will, and when is it. I don't like to call out the ego and say, oh, it's the ego that wants it. It is survival patterns or ideas about what is right in order to gain most benefit, most survival benefits in your life. And that can be really hardly wired into the system. So example then again from my own life. If you know me, you know I came into harmonious union with my beloved almost half a year ago now. And really seeing and experiencing this in the divine union is such a blissful gift. And also understanding that you need to be willing to look at the times where you are experience the contraction within and still say, oh, I do not right now know if this is I'm reacting because this is out of alignment with divine will, or if this is just a slight survival instinct in me that wants things to be this way and not the other way. But I'm willing to go and let myself be guided, to release whatever that is in the way of me seeing what truly is divine will. And then trust that both for you and your partner, your beloved, that the same path for both of you is the highest. And it's been it's so blissful and such a blessing to be in this romantic partnership with someone who is also aligned with divine will, or seeking to be from his own heart and my own heart. I mean, it's work in progress always. It's like we're exploring it and expanding together, but being willing to say it's not something that I've learned in the past that is right to do here, and then you must be wrong if you don't want the same. It is to say there is a clean slate and there is a divine will, so I surrender to that divine will. I'm willing to go there. I'm willing to open and let that be what's flowing through me, and not opinions or these sense of like contradicting in your partnership, but really seeing what is the divine will. I think for many of us, we have grown up with parents who have been arguing, who have been having conflicts. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being in conflicts, and understand that this is not by any means to avoid conflict, to align with divine will. That is not the purpose of it. It's not to avoid arguing or anything like that. Those experiences can really expand our soul and our being, and we can learn so much from it. It's more to understand that there is a harmonious union with you and life itself, with you and a partner, with you and family. There can be this harmonious experience of you flowing through life where everything is aligned, not with a will that is separate from others, but one will that can flow through both you and the others and align you with divine will, align you with harmony. And that also requires truth to be spoken whenever you're feeling it. And I will say it's very few cases. I think we only had 2 times where we felt like, oh, there's something here where we are not aligning in what we want. Let's go in and just allow time and divine will with time to move into this, so we know, so we can get clarity what is the divine way to move through this. And this is not to be right, and this is not, as I said, to avoid conflict. It is simply to allow divinity, and for those who really desire those experiences of harmonious union at this earth plane and really this deep connection, it's for those who want that. And feel free to reach out to me if you want to know more, if you want to work with this deeper. I have my one-on-one sessions and still have some availability here in the end of August. So this is very exciting, I think, because I see that as us who are willing to lead humanity into more harmonious relationships. We are willing to let that separate will, where we're just ourselves on our own and having to fight for our perspective, for our right to be here or be in a certain way. It is for us who are willing to move through that and align with divine will. So back to what I shared in the beginning, that I hear from many or from some, that they feel that others are against. So if you are in a relationship, whether with a partner or friendship or family, you might also feel that they are not seeing divine will. But it's your role to hold that, if this is what you agree to, and hold that mirror up for them whenever you can, and whatever is happening. It's not always that they will respond with, thank you, I'm so blessed and grateful that you're holding the high potential right there for me. They might be arguing, they might be fighting against it because they're afraid. They're used to having this other way of communicating and navigating, so that feels more safe for them to be right, to have this way, that this is the safe way. and they do not yet feel safe in letting themselves be guided by the divine or let themselves flow divine frequency. So for many, it requires time to align with this. So you probably remember from yourself, and maybe you still feel it sometimes, there's this idea that it's dangerous for the body to carry this higher frequency. That's like an ancient ancestral memory, like don't stand out too much, don't be too luminous, don't be all that, and we might dim it and hold it back, and then we feel when others are mirroring that back to us, then it's them. But it's really us who are not yet allowing ourselves to move with that energy. And yet also when we are allowing that, just as I said, they can also be triggered, but then you are in a role where you can hold that higher vibration for them, that higher frequency. So, as I said, if you want me to guide you through this, I'm more than willing to do so. I have those available spots here in August and also in September. But let's just journey inwards for a moment and just allow some of these energies to move through the body. So if you're ready, just close your eyes. And what I sense now in the energy field is this fear that if it's not my will, how can I be sure that things are safe for me? And yes, that is a very pivotal point, I would say, and pivotal moment when we move into the trust and the knowing that what is divine will is the best for you. It's not taking you away from your prosperity, your love, your infinite joy. It is moving you deeper into it. Just feel your body. Feel this soothing energies just helping you soften a little inside, become more clear that this is truly safe. You be all that you are. And you can let go of needing to be right, needing to fight for your point of view, your perspective. You can simply allow divine will to unfold through you, moving with grace and ease with the energies, with your beloveds, with all that is. Just allow yourself this gift that it is to be a vessel of this higher way of being and living. Experience this great freedom that there lies in being aligned with divine will. So we might think, as I just felt before, that it's taking us away from our freedom or sovereignty or all that looks after ourselves because we're used to being in survival. But deeply trusting that divinity is who you are, and that it's like the deepest and most expansive and luminous part of you all at once. And therefore it's the greatest version of you. And you're not moving with the idea of scarcity and therefore like hoarding things. You're knowing that everything is coming to you at divine right time. That you don't have to be a fight with your beloved over simple things, over things at all. That you can trust that there is one way for both of you to move through this experience in a harmonious union. And you can really trust the love that pours through you. Take a deep breath and just feel yourself coming deeper into this knowing, into being in this moment, into seeing and receiving clarity around what is divine will in this experience. Maybe you have something popping up where you don't know, is it me trying to get it my way? Or is it truly divine will moving through me? Just allow time to dissolve those resistances. The resistance there is there, so you can move into clarity. And just come back here for a moment before we end this. I also want to share that the reason why I'm also sharing that it as this time is because we are invited into new roles. You're invited into your next version, and it can be clearly different from the past, who you were in the past. It can be like significantly different to who you used to be. So therefore you might feel these doubts come up, like, should I stay the same? I promised. We have this idea that we have to stay the same. That's a bit of the masculine energy of like consistency and staying the same, the structure. When we're moving and integrate with the feminine and integrating more our divine feminine essence, we will see that things shift and change and come in cycles. And we might be in the cycle of starting a new cycle where we are practically a new person, having new experiences, new things, new people, everything popping into our lives. And we might feel like, what about those people that expect me to be the same? I remember when I left science, it was also like I had been trained to be the same. So there was this energy of, oh, I'm completely changing. Can I still be connected with those I used to? Is it better to leave them behind? And sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. It's up for you to feel. But you're not letting anyone down, and that's the main point in this. You're not letting anyone down from embodying your higher self, from embodying your divine essence and moving with the divine will. You're not letting anyone down. You are simply integrating a higher path for humanity by integrating a higher path for you. So I think those are the perfect words to end on, and so much love to you. I'm wishing you a blissful day, and I will see you soon.